queers. What's on the big gay agenda today, Theora?
Today, we are continuing our discussion of the sex lives of college girls, and we are in person for this. Woo! I know. We're real people. Sometimes I forget if she's actually, sometimes I'm like, maybe she's just a digital person. The rumors are not true. So today we're going to talk about the sex lives of college girls. If you're new here, hello and welcome. We did the first season in our previous episode. This won't be like some of our other content. We are not going scene by scene for this. We are just going to be doing an overview of like all the fun gay stuff, things we like, things we could have changed / didn't like, and just all our feelings about second season of the sex lives of college girls. Yes, and hoping, well, not hoping, maybe what our wants are for season 3. Yeah, we'll see. It's coming soon, hopefully. But before we begin, we need your help to keep making queer content. Can you please send this video or podcast episode to 3 of your friends or, people in general? Just share it with anybody. That's basically what we need. If you want exclusive content, early access to our content, come join us over on Patreon. We have a lot of fun stuff. We have a lot of content on there. We sure do. A lot. Like full episodes of things get put over there. It's a fun time, and you get to help us decide what we cover. Yep. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment of your thoughts on this episode, on the show in general. What do you want to see in season 3? We want to know. If you're listening to this podcast on audio platforms, please leave a review or rating, whatever is possible on that platform, and download the episode so we can increase the stats and make sure that more people see this episode. If you want to come chat with us and have discussions about queer media, come join our Discord channel. We love talking to everyone. It's fun times, and we love talking to each other, obviously, but we love hearing other people's opinions as well. We also have some merch on biggayenergypod.com if you want to check that out. Any suggestions for merch too, feel free to let us know. We'll make it. And lastly, make sure to stay connected with us on all social media platforms at Big Gay Energy Pod. We are everywhere. You can't escape us. Nope. All right, so yeah, please help us with all that. And for now, we'll jump right into the Sex Lives of College Girls Season 2. So, like Season 1, you can watch this on HBO Max. What is it about? Basically, it's a continuation of the main cast from Season 1, basically. And they go into their second semester at Essex as freshmen and continue to have messy lives as teenagers do, while they're trying to figure their shit out while also dating at the same time. That was basically my synopsis of the season. But what did you have? I wrote, the 4 girls are just as messy as Season 1, and one of them gazed it up all over the place, and now we hydrate for lesbian Jesus for her. Amen to that. I still don't have any water. You should know by now. I know. All right. So speaking of hydration, how much would you hydrate for lesbian Jesus for Season 2 of the Sex Lives of College Girls? Okay, so if we go into like individual storylines, overall, from what I take away from the season, I'm going to give it a 9. Okay, valid. Yeah, what about you? I don't know. I'm not giving it all the hydration from sips this time. So I think I'll give it like, I don't know, an 8. Yeah, usually yours is Season 2 person. She flipped, and then usually I like Season 1 better, and I flipped this time. Yeah, I liked Season 1 better than Season 2. Although, like, I liked Leighton's plotline. Yes, I like Leighton's plotline. I only really remember Leighton's plotline in this season. I have to like consciously think about all the other ones. It's because everybody else's plotlines are like exactly the same from Season 1, basically, except Leighton. So that's why I like Leighton better. Because usually Season 2 in a show, like we've established, like Season 1 is usually we're establishing all the characters, we're setting up some drama. It's the setup season. And then Season 2, it's like everyone's established, let's actually get into the story in a deeper way. And it's like they didn't do that here. So it was like weird. It felt weird, except for Leighton. Leighton was the only one, in my opinion, that like kept going with her story. Everybody else like regressed back into the same story, just they had in season 1, but a different flavor.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't like it. I was like, I feel like I'm watching a season 1
Yeah,
again.
because like it never like they could have had her go back into the cloud, correct?
But she did not. She just went forward. Whereas like
She went full force forward.
exactly, yeah. Kimberly had the exact same plot line. Whitney's plot line was different, but still revolved around men. The whole plot line, and then Bella just got deeper into like flipped the misogyny in the workplace situation and just became a tyrant in the workplace. Yeah. So it was like I feel like I was watching the same thing. Anyway, that's just my opinion. So let's get into it. Let's start with the gay stuff. So yeah, speaking of Leighton was the best plot line in my opinion. Not only because it was queer, but just it continued forward and it was different. Because in season 1, they set up a bunch of drama with like she's afraid to come out, she's afraid for her life to change. And then in the end of season 1, she comes out to Kimberly, her roommate, but that's it. And so when we pick up season 2, she's still like only out to Kimberly, but she like continues on that journey and like eventually fully comes out to everybody, like including her parents. So, which, you know, again, in season 1, we were establishing that's what she was afraid of. And then she really comes into it and realizes that she's a happier person when she's just being herself and like being with the people she wants. Like, she ends up kind of like dating somebody who's like her. And she's like, I realize now I don't want this because I've changed too much. And she's becoming more of herself. So like her arc was so good because, yeah, they contrasted really well with season 1 Leighton and season 2 Leighton are very different Leightons. And it's really great. Her story was really good. I'm very interested to see what season 3 Leighton is. I'm terrified because Renee Rapp's leaving the show. I know that. Like, damn it. Her arc is so good.
Every little thing I can get from her. I know. I don't want her to leave.
I want her to leave.
I do not want her to leave. Because I'm really scared for the show in general because of that. But we'll get into that later. Let's back up to the very beginning of season 2. Jenna said 1. I'm like, get into that. The beginning of season 2, Leighton's dad is dropping her off. And he's just a wreck because Nico got expelled from school.
Basically.
Yeah, they did some white privilege shit and got him into another school next semester. Anyway, but her dad tells her to study hard and find a boyfriend. And her face is hilarious when he says boyfriend. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's just not quite out yet, but, you know, that's her arc. And, you know, at the beginning, she just has Kimberly as an ally. And it's really sweet because Kimberly's trying to be really supportive. Because Leighton, again, like, Leighton, from the very first episode of the show, it was established that she's not an open book, which is obvious. But, like, all of her, like, the reason her original friends ditched her is because they're like, we feel like we really don't know you. We feel like you're always hiding something from us. And so Kimberly is her first like confidant where she's like, I'm being very open. And the thing she was not open about was like her love life, basically, because she was afraid. So she tells Kimberly, and Kimberly tries to be really sweet because Kimberly understands how big of a deal this is because she's been living with Leighton and she understands that, like again, you mentioned it, Leighton never engages in relationship talk. Yeah. And so here she is. So Kimberly's like, this is a big deal. So she like does really sweet but misguided things like getting her rainbow balloon tower and like she just trying to support Leighton because like it's a big deal Leighton is being open. Yeah. And Kimberly understands that.
And Kimberly's the type of person to be like, let's celebrate everything. I want you to feel loved and
right. It's very sweet.
But let's talk about that scene in general because it's cute, it's funny. I love it. Kimberly and Leighton's relationship is so weird and beautiful and I love it. It's the two of them together. Her and Bella are just hilarious. Yeah, that was a side note though. So the rainbow balloon tower. So Kimberly assumes that Leighton told Whitney and Bella over break. And I was like, that is a bold assumption because I feel like that's kind of a conversation you have in person.
Yeah, it's true.
Not over I mean, if you're not close with people, but Leia's close with these people. And also it's not something that because she's just starting to come out, that you wouldn't do over text.
Yeah, it's true.
So I don't really, again, like Kimberly doesn't always
it's Kimberly.
think things through. Yeah, I mean, same Kimberly. Okay, anyway. So Kimberly starts freaking out that she may have outed Leighton. And like, fair enough.
Yeah, because,
how did no one else see these balloons?
Yeah.
Also, because Kimberly is not her actual roommate in the room. How did these balloons get in the anyway? There's some logistics that I need to know that are not important, but apparently the brain things they are. No, valid. But she's also like, did I out you? Am I a bad ally? Oh, Kimberly.
She's trying. It's very sweet. Yeah, that's Kimberly. She's trying. She's naive. That's always been Kimberly.
But I love that Leighton's like, no, you're fine. And because she could have been like, oh my gosh, I can't let anyone see anything rainbow, even near my vicinity. No, she's just like, I'm just a little disturbed that you think I'm the kind of gay person who would like that.
Yep. Balloons and Leighton don't add up.
But I think the important thing to note for this is how easy she said gay person. Like, she is like, I am gay. Like, it came off so easy. And it's so nice that right now she can be fully herself with Kimberly, and you just see a little more easiness with her.
Exactly.
She had growth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why her plotline's the best.
But in return, after this, Leighton helps Kimberly try to get a loan because she has to look like she has money to get money.
Correct.
Which, hold on, like the loan is going to be $900 a month for until she's in her 60s. Like, is that girl nothing? She knows how much money like the importance of money. Why does she think she's going to be able to afford $900 a month?
Because she has no other option, otherwise she leaves school.
I feel like it's better to leave school than, ruin your whole life because you have this huge debt that you cannot pay back. But
those are options.
We'll get into what she does later.
So, all right. Okay, so then Leighton on her journey, she's becoming more comfortable with herself in the privacy of her room, like with Kimberly, like the only two people that know. So then later that episode, they go to a frat party, and there's a girl at the party who's like making eyes at Leighton, basically when Leighton's hanging out with Kimberly, so like setting this up. And so it's like, again, from a distance, Leighton's like, okay, feels comfortable with it. When the girl comes over to her and like tries to actively flirt with her, that's when Leighton's like, this is too much. This is too much. So it's like, I appreciate the fact that they had her do the baby steps. Like you mentioned, she was very comfortable with identifying as a queer person to Kimberly, somebody she has a bond with, feels comfortable with. I like that they didn't have her just come back from break, which is like, a couple of weeks at most, and like is suddenly like super out, because that would just cheapen everything she went through at season 1 with Alicia. So I like, it's also not realistic, right? But they do that in television shows, so they're just like, quick time jump, this person's super gay now, and it's like, that's not how that journey works for a lot of, especially somebody like Leighton who's had so much fear about it. So I do appreciate that they had her do the baby steps, and then like by the end of the episode, like she does come out to everybody else, and then like DMs that girl to like talk to her. So like she just needs more time, and like that's totally okay. And I like that they wrote her like this. Like, yeah, in one episode that's still a huge jump, for somebody like Leighton, but at least they paced it out and they didn't have her just like making out with women immediately when the moment she got there. That's, part of me wishes it went slower, but part of me is really glad it went that quick because we don't have her that much anymore. Well, also like there's only so many episodes.
Yeah.
And they had to get her like back with Alicia videos.
like we need to go back to Midori.
We do.
I wonder if Midori was available the whole time. What would have happened?
I think Leighton still needed to go on this journey. I think the way it was paced is correct for her character.
I want to talk more about when Leighton comes out to the other two, though, because
go for it.
I love this scene, and because you can fully feel Leighton's emotions. Renee Rapp did such a good job with it. So the morning after the party, I believe they're all sitting around in their common area, and Bella asks if Leighton hooked up with any hotties at the party. And basically the whole room goes silent because I guess the other two are doing other things as well. But Kimberly and Leighton are just looking at each other. And Kimberly has this like really weird grin on her face. She's like, you can do it. You can do it. And like just that little support. Leighton is playing with her hands because she's nervous, obviously. And she ends up coming out, I forget the exact words, but Whitney is super excited by this news and said that's awesome. While Bella asks, should we hug? I feel like we should hug. And Leia's like, you don't have to hug. Leia's not a hugger. No. Kimberly would be a hugger. And then Kimberly pretends to like not know. She's like, my gaydar was totally off. I'm like, do straight people have, like, are straight people supposed to have gaydar? Yeah, I mean, I'm good allies. I have terrible gaydar. It's really but Kimberly's just trying to cover up the fact that she already knew. That's what she was doing. Overcompensating. But obviously the other two figure that out really quickly. But then Leighton says that she has been a really good friend about it and tells them how Kimberly even tried to help her get alone with this girl. And the girls convince her to slide into her DMs. And it's just really cute because like she is texting and Bella's trying to look at the message and Leighton's just like, no. And then she's just like, I said hi. And then everyone freaks out. And it's just such a simple scene, but it's so sweet. And to see their bond, like you really see how much their bond has grown. Absolutely. It's very, very sweet. And Leighton really needed this and had people excited about it. Yeah, she, again, she's one of those people that was always afraid everything was going to change for the worse. And like, yeah, Leighton's life does change, but she feels like it's better towards the end. So it was a very positive storyline overall. And yeah, she got her support from everybody. And eventually she gets her parents' support too, which is really sweet. But she gets also the classic plot line of like, okay, so she comes out at like 18, 19, however old she is now. And now that she's out, she goes through basically like lesbian puberty where she's just like fucking everybody, basically. Yeah. The first girl she hooks up with though, after coming out, it's the very beginning of this whole, I'm going to sleep with everyone. But she has now moved on from sleeping with older suburban moms to people who are on campus, which is a huge deal for her. Yeah. And the first one does a lot of kissing in public, which I'm surprised doesn't like intimidate Leighton. I mean, to be fair, it looked like that girl was swallowing her. So like she was like, what the hell is this? But she wasn't concerned about other people seeing. She was very caught off guard about what was happening. Yeah. But was also, she's just so gay, she was into it. She's like, whatever. But yeah, you're right. Again, she's just making strides. Yeah. Yeah, so she has a lot of girls at once. And all I could think of is that, damn, these girls are lucky to have kissed Renee Rapp. And yeah, even if it's just professionally. And I love how she eventually has to give the girls a rundown of who she slept with and like who's like currently in and out. Because they keep talking to girls that she's no longer talking to. She's like, no, you're not allowed to talk. Can I friend her on Goodreads? No. I already did. Yeah, it's very messy. At one point, she's talking to like 30 girls. And it's just like, again, she going through puberty where she's just a fuck boy, basically, is what she's doing. And it's just classic. I want to see Kimberly's doc, though, of all of the spreadsheet on what girls are in and out. I'm sure it's somewhere on the internet. Let's figure it out. Yeah. Okay, so then later, all of this sleeping around comes back to bite Leighton in the butt. And a bunch of the girls show up all at once at her room. So I guess half of them think that they're dating her. I guess they just never had a conversation. Who knows? But I thought it was weird that they were making a big deal of her sleeping with other people that they slept with. Because, like, isn't that like a typical... That's the joke. Oh, that's the joke they're making. Everyone just comes into the room. They're like, I didn't know you were sleeping with my ex. And, like, they're like, I didn't know you were sleeping with my ex. And then later on, Alicia's like, you were hooking up with a couple of my exes. So, like, it's just the joke that, like, all the lesbians know each other. Okay. So I was like, that makes no sense. Why you don't think, no, it's just welcome to queer drama, Leighton. Like, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, everyone is connected to everyone. Yeah. So because of all the fuckery, she ends up getting an STI from another girl, and then it is really funny when it's like they're in Kappa of all fucking places during rush, and like so Leighton's trying to make a good impression, so she gets the bid, and like the girl's like, you gave me chlamydia and didn't fucking tell me. And then there's like this scene where they had to like tell their darkest truth or some shit, and the girl like outs Leighton for like doing that, because Leighton was like basically like, I won't tell anybody, it'll just go away, it'll be fine. But she was like hooking up with 30 people, so like anyway, so that just like super blew up in her face, which is pretty funny. Yeah, tell the people. Like, then there's a reason that they tell you to tell all of your recent partners so everyone can get medicine, basically. Yeah. So that was a hot mess for Leighton. What I don't understand is during this hot mess, how she never runs into Alicia. Like, they never crossed paths once during her, like, tour of the school, basically.
Yeah.
It's weird. Because I wouldn't imagine there's that many queer people at this pretty small private school. So the fact that like she fucked all of them and never ran and like never crossed paths, it's just weird. Pretty sure Midori just wasn't available because it doesn't make sense. Like if she's hooking up with everybody's ex, like Alicia would come up in some way, shape, or form,
like in conversation
or just like something like at a party. Like it's weird that they don't cross paths,
especially at the party. Well, I guess she does it. She's probably too busy at the women's center, but how has the women's center night?
No, but I mean, they did the big, like, run in your underwear thing that everybody does. Like, the fact that they don't cross paths at all during this time period is weird. When Leighton's, like, in the queer space, basically, of dating. It's just odd. It's just weird.
That's fair. But something at, I believe it was the snow
party. Later at the party.
Of course, Bella's like, so don't answer this if it's homophobic. Ellie's like, not off to a great start. But Bella asked Leighton to rank all of them, like, based on who she would date.
Classic straight friend behavior.
Mm-hmm. And Leighton's... they all think that they're number one. And Leighton's just laughing her ass off. She's like, really? None of you are my type. And then Leighton basically describes herself as her type. And they're like, you just describe yourself. She's like, yeah. I would be happy with a Ming. Put a pin on that one.
That ego.
Yeah. And as Leighton's walking away, Bella says that she would rank her first, too. And I just feel like there's a little queerness to Bella.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I think she's just super sex positive, and it's just like, yeah, I get it. She's just horny all the time, and like, I don't think she cares. But I mean, I've had straight friends that have done shit like that. So like, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll see in season 3.
I am very excited for season 3. Okay, so now we get to Tatum. Tatum is a character.
She is a character.
Is the character in the show. When we first meet her, she's like this elusive character that Leighton really wants to get to know because, you know, she looks exactly like Leighton and is everything Leighton is and used to be. So very rich metropolitan area. Everything is very similar between the two of them. And Tatum basically plays hard to get, but she's not playing. Like, that's just her.
And that's what Leighton was in season 1.
Yes.
So yeah. So season 1 Leighton meets season 2 Leighton. Basically is what's happening.
That's a good description.
Yeah.
I'm very conflicted with Tatum in general. Because I knew coming in, I was like, I like them together. And I think it's just because I like the actress.
I do like the actress. Well, I stand them.
And I was like watching those first scenes and like the tennis scene where they first meet and all that episodes scenes. I was like, she's a bitch. Why did I like them? We'll get into that more.
So is Leighton when you first meet her. So
yeah, that's true. But Tatum makes Leighton feel inferior. She's very defensive around Tatum, but I hate it because every time Leighton seemed excited about something, Tatum would make her feel stupid for liking it. And it's like, it took us so much to get Leighton to admit when she likes something that
Like, stop making her go back. Like, it reverted her so much back to season 1. I get because it's late in season 1, but because that's what Leighton was doing to everybody else when she met them. So it's like you're seeing that behavior from a different point of view, and you're like, oh yeah, this is pretty shitty. Yeah. Because here we come to like Leighton. So Leighton is getting a taste of her own medicine, basically. But, like, if this were a season 1 Leighton meeting Tatum, this would be very different. But she still has that competitive, like, fuck that, I'm great, kind of, like, so she challenges Tatum back. So it's, but, that's part of the appeal. That's kind of why she likes her. She's like, you're somebody who challenges me. She mentions later, I'm dating up. I've never dated up before. So this is it's brand new territory for Leighton, in a way, like, in her mind. Because she's like, Tatum is like, well, again, one of those people who looks great on paper, even better than Leighton, and Leighton looks great on paper. So that's why she's like, I'm dating up, and this is a different experience for me to, like, be chasing somebody. Usually I'm chased. So not necessarily a bad thing. It's just she's navigating something different. But yeah, it's uncomfortable at first. Yeah, and part of me thinks Leighton did need it to see her old self. She absolutely did need this. Because she's changing. Yeah, and I think it makes her realize how far she's come and like how much she likes the new her. That's the key. The key is that, again, Leighton was afraid of changing, her whole life changing when she came out, or was embracing who she is, and it did, but the key is that she's okay with it by the time she realizes that. She's like, I like who I am now. I like the change I went through. So, like, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy, but it ended up Leighton, like, really accepting the change she went through also, which is a huge piece. Yeah. But the times that I did like Tatum is when Leighton's dad comes to visit. This was cute. Yeah. So Leighton is not out to her dad yet at this point. And they run into Tatum and her dad at a restaurant. And Leighton is like, I know Tatum. She's like an acquaintance. First she says friend, and then she says an acquaintance. Because she doesn't want to be too closely connected to her, because she is publicly out. So she pulls Tatum aside and is like, hey, I'm so sorry. I am not out to my dad yet. Please don't be mad. Like, there's this whole thing with the other girl I was with. And Tatum is actually super cool about it. And it's just like, calm down. And she says there isn't a timeline on coming out, and we just started dating. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, you be you, do what you need to do. It's all when you feel comfortable. And she really needed to hear that because, I mean, again, we talked about how Alicia was valid to herself, but now Leighton kind of has this trauma response to not being out. And we do get past this later, and like this season, she's fully out by the end. But yeah, goodbye. She needed to have someone be like, it's okay. You're okay to do this on your own time. You don't need to come out just because someone else is telling you need to. Yeah, and I feel like in the society, in like the social circles that those two are in, there's more closeted people. So I feel like because Alicia's from a completely different social circle where like it's all about pride and like visibility and representation, like hiding feels like a betrayal, like, you know, being in the closet. And versus like with Tatum and Leighton, they come from high society where it's like, yeah, I get it. A lot of people are closeted because of all the things Leighton was afraid of. So I feel like they understand each other there where she's like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I get that. This is your dad. I didn't think about that she would have a different viewpoint. Exactly. That is very great, Theora. You're amazing. But this is, I feel like once Leighton pretended to know the exclusive party to take Tatum to. And then it comes out that she was actually been lying and like trying to seem cooler. And I feel like once they had that conversation about her insecurities, Tatum got toned down in the judging. And like she was a little more supportive until the very last scene. But, well, it's flattering if she's like, you did all this shit just to impress me. Because that's what Leighton would want. That's what the girl in that position wants. Like, yeah.
But then it's just, she does some cute things. So Tatum and her dad end up sitting with Leighton and her dad at this restaurant because Tatum's family couldn't get a reservation. So Tatum and her dad start talking about her previous relationships. Tatum's dad misses Lydia, and he's not allowed to miss Lydia. Like, apparently, no, I don't even want to say it.
It's cute that he knows enough. He knows about her like relationships, period, and to have bonded with them. Like, that's really sweet, and it's very like, wow, this could be us. Like for Leighton and her dad, like for both of them. If you watch both of them during this scene, it's like, damn, I want that with my dad. Damn, I want that with my daughter.
Leighton's dad is just watching them be like,
so is Leighton. If you watch Leighton, she's also envious of this relationship because she did intend to tell her dad, but because of all their family drama and he was upset about, she didn't tell him. Like, she did want to tell him. Yeah, she does want that.
Leighton's dad says it out loud. He's like, I wish, it's so great that you guys can talk about her dating life.
Yeah, we never do.
Yeah, we never. Leighton is a closed book.
Correct.
And the table gets silent after that, and because Leighton's like, it's because I can't tell you.
Right.
And it eventually comes to where she's basically cornered. Well, she feels cornered. And she's like, I'm just going to tell him anyway. I may as well just do it now. And she blurts out that I'm gay.
Yeah.
And then she's like, actually, I'm dating Tatum. And I love that it quickly cuts to Tatum. She's like, yeah, that's true. And then goes back to Leighton. And I love that. She's like, we've only been on a few dates. 4 if you count this weird date with our dads. Anyway, I think it's important to note that Tatum was staying true to her earlier words that Leighton did not have to come out, and she only admitted it when she could tell Leighton was okay with it. Like, she told her dad, and even when her dad and her were so open with each other, and he was asking if she was seeing anyone, and she didn't say anything. So it's really nice that way. So once Leighton's dad hears this, he excuses himself and leaves the table. And so the other three of them are just like staring awkwardly at each other. And I know that they just met, but I kind of wish Tatum's dad would get up from the table and just give Leighton a hug, because that sucks to have your just parent leave the table after telling them something you were terrified of for years. Like, he said nothing, like no indication of actually how he's feeling.
I mean, but he also doesn't know her. They're from high society. They don't.
I was like, her dad didn't know anything.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it's to create tension and drama. But yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So eventually, do you have anything about that part?
No.
Okay. So eventually, Leighton leaves the restaurant as well, and to find her dad, who is on a bench outside. And Leighton immediately apologizes for adding more stress to his life, because when he first got there, he was talking about all these things going on, that there's so much stress and that he was having trouble handling it. And she was like, well, shit, maybe I shouldn't tell him right now. I don't want to make his life more stressful. But her dad says that his reaction is about him, not what she told him. He is more ashamed that he didn't see it coming and that he didn't feel like a good parent for not knowing his daughter.
That's exactly what Whitney and her mom had at the end of season 1 when the affair came out. It's the same thing. They're just like, I'm just upset I didn't see it.
And I feel like that's a lot of storylines of people who there's more power and money in their family because there's more separation.
That's true. And it's also like, again, a lot of these stories that we get are from the kids' point of view. You're not getting the parents. So I like when they have these moments like this, because parents are humans too. Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, like from the parents' point of view, it's like, I'm just, my parents, my mom knew.
So she's like, yeah, I know. I've known for a long time because I was watching you. But some parents are just like, well, fuck, I must be a shitty parent that I was blindsided by this huge part of your life. And like, you felt you had to hide it from me too. So they have the conversation too where Leighton's like, yeah, I guess I'm just really good at being in the closet. And Dad's like, is that really even a good thing? And she's like, no. But it's one of those things, he's like, I'm upset you couldn't be honest, which is exactly what like Whitney and her mom's conversation was like. And so I like those conversations.
Eventually he tells her that he is glad that she told him and that he is so proud of her. And so finally we get that moment. And he also says that he likes her with Tatum. She's like, you don't have to say that. And he's like, no, Tatum makes you smile with all your teeth. And I can tell that she makes you happy. And that's why he was ashamed that he didn't see it coming, but he sees when she's happy.
And I don't know that that's really Tatum. I think that's just the fact that Leighton is being herself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really think that's a Tatum comment.
But he can see that she's happy.
Right. He's like, you are happier than you've been.
Yeah. So after that, Leighton brings Tatum to the party that they're throwing in their dorm. And I believe it's for
Bella's friend, Priya.
Sure, that thing. Actually, I like it later. Anyway, I just wanted to note that Tatum does not take her eyes off Leighton, and she looks so happy and proud as well. And it's very cute.
It's very cute.
They end up hooking up. Well, yeah, hooking up. And the episode ends with Alicia texting Leighton, saying that she's thinking of her and asking if they can meet up.
Good.
Dun dun dun. Yeah, no, actually, it's good. Well, we love Midori. You couldn't tell.
I like Alicia and Leighton together better. I just think they were compliments as characters. Yeah. Tatum's great. Like, I really think Tatum's great. But I think the purpose of Tatum is holding a mirror to Leighton and being like, I don't fit this life anymore. So I like that, but her and Alicia make more sense.
They do. Personally. Long term, they're better.
Yeah. Well, also, like, Alicia challenges Leighton in a different way, and like Alicia was the catalyst for Leighton to change in the first place. Like, if Leighton had just met Tatum, she never would have changed the way she changed with Alicia in a way that, like, Leighton's like, I feel I like myself better now, kind of thing. She made Leighton better, basically. So I think they're a better fit.
They are. I love them both.
Yep.
Okay, so the next episode, now that Leighton is fully out, the only person I don't even know, I mean, she isn't telling her mom, so that happens in the background. So I'm just going to say she's fully out now.
Yep.
And she's fully accepting of herself. So she actually asked the girls for advice about if she should meet up with Alicia or not. And it's such a big moment that even the girls are like, what? You never talk about your dating life. You never ask us for advice. What is going on? And I mean, the growth. And that's the bottom line, is just the growth of Leighton.
Yep.
But I love how the girls are just like terrified to answer. They're like, say the wrong thing. Like, shit, this doesn't happen often.
Right.
Like, we have to make sure that this is good. So Kimberly tells her to talk to Tatum about it. And she's like, is that good? Was that good? Yeah. And like, it's like, yeah, that was pretty good. I'll do that. Yes. I just hit that too. So then Leighton goes to Pilates with Tatum. And the scene was pretty cute too. Like, everything up until Tatum at that Women's Center fundraiser was great to see them together.
Mm-hmm.
So Leighton talks to Tatum about Alicia. She's like, hey, so we've never really brought up our past exes. Is that weird? And Tatum's like, no, I don't really care. Like, weren't you straight before? So Tatum's not the type of person to be like, yeah, I want to know who you've been with.
Well, the bigger thing is Tatum's like, look at me. Do you think I get jealous of other people? It's an ego thing. She's like, who it could possibly threaten me. That's what it is. So she's like, I don't give a fuck. Also, we're lesbians. We're friends with all of our exes. Our exes are fucking Pilates instructors. My exes are Pilates instructors. So, like, yeah, she does not care. She's been in the game longer and been out longer. So she's like,
yeah, late air. This season is Leighton realizing that the lesbian community is connected.
correct. Yeah, exactly. So,
she's like, you dated Brandy? And then I love how the end of the scene is just like, all right, in like full honesty, I paid Brandy to go easy on me today. And then Brandy comes over and gives Leighton like the biggest compliment, and it's just hilarious.
I love it.
Oh, but now we get to go back to the Women's Center.
Finally.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It took to episode 9 to get the Women's Center back.
It did.
It wasn't fun beforehand. We need more next season. I don't think we're going to get it.
I don't think we're going to get it either. I really think the Women's Center is unfortunately going away.
That's really, really sad.
It is.
Okay, so Leighton tells everyone. So Tova, Ginger, and Alicia, that's our core Women's Center group. And she's like, I really did miss it here. And they finally get to the elephant in the room. It's not really an elephant, but like, I love how Alicia is like, so I heard you came out like the most spectacular way possible. And this is when she's like, yeah, you can sleep with 2 of my exes. Like, we've all heard it. And Tova and Ginger. And Ginger's like, I heard it from all 2 of my friends.
Bless your heart, Ginger. Some things don't change.
But they're all excited for her in general as well, though, because she is on her journey. And
also, like, they're accepting people. That's the whole point of the Women's Center. Like, that is a safe space. They were never going to judge Leighton, even though Leighton, when she first arrived, was judging everybody. Like, that's the point of that center. So, like, they were always going to be accepted.
Alicia was reluctantly accepting.
Well, Alicia's, I think, on some level is excited. And then also, like, yeah, like, she misses her. She's like, you're out now. Like, what the fuck? Like, I think that's why we don't find out actually why she reached out to Leighton, like, truly, but I think that was kind of it. It's kind of like she's been in love with her the whole time, and it's like you need to go.
They were together was because she was
correct, exactly. And so, like, but sometimes, like, when you love somebody, you have to let them go and let them figure their shit out. So I think that's partially what Alicia was doing, and it's kind of like, I hope you figure their shit out, and I hope you find your way back to me. If you don't, you don't, but I hope you do. And I think this was kind of like, she's like, this is too much. Like, you're out fucking everybody. Like, let me get back in there. I think that's what she was doing. And she's right. What they had was very real. So, yeah. So it does work. And, like, Alicia eventually, like, kind of recruits Leighton to start helping with stuff again. And, at first I was like, is Alicia trying to get Leighton back because they're in financial troubles? But I don't think that was actually her motivation.
I don't think so either.
Because, like, she's like, yeah, we're having a silent auction. You have money. Can you come? Like, but I think she's more so just trying to, like, get back into Leighton's life.
I feel like on some level, she was, like, slightly appealing to the rich girl in her. Be like, yeah, we know that you have money. So making her, because, like, that's who she was when she first came.
That's who she is.
So,
like, she is a woman with money.
Well, no, but, like, that was very much her identity.
Yeah.
So Alicia was just kind of playing into that part as, like, a joke, kind of.
Yeah.
But that's also a way to just, like, get her back.
Yeah. But that whole thing is really, really cute. So, like, yeah, she gets invited to this kind of party, but it's, like, around the time that Leighton and her mom are having their arc. Because, like, the whole thing, too, is, like, the reason why Leighton is the way that she is that, like, basically she was raised to be like her mother, be like a carbon copy of her mom. Mom was a Kappa president or whatever the fuck, and, like, perfect society lady and this and that. And so, like, this is the end of Leighton's arc of being like, I really don't want this, and I have to come clean about that. So, like, at the Kappa thing, basically, I know. Okay. Did you want to go over the other stuff? No, it's okay. Go ahead. Do what you're going to do.
Well, I was just going to bring up the fundraiser real quick.
I thought that's after.
Is it?
Yeah, the Kappa brunch. Isn't it? No? Okay.
I don't know. I was just putting all the Women's Center stuff.
All right. Yeah, then never mind. All right. So the costume party. I love that. We'll just go back. Just forget what I was saying. So the cabin party, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so Leighton ends up bringing Tatum to the Women's Center costume party fundraiser. And Tatum, of course, does not dress up because that's not her.
And again, if you ask season 1 Leighton to do this, she would not dress up either.
Yeah. So this is where it's evident that Leighton and Tatum do really well in their typical spaces, typical rich people spaces like tennis, Pilates, those areas. When they get into the places where Leighton is more comfortable now, that's when you really see the difference. And I think it was important for her to come back to the Women's Center because that was like more grounding her and being like, oh no, this is my growth. Like these are the people that I feel comfortable with now.
Correct.
So this is when Leighton realizes that Tatum is everything that she wants to change about herself.
Yeah.
So and of course Alicia's very happy to. Alicia dressed up
as
Elvis.
And no, she's Elton John.
Elton John?
Elton John, yeah.
I thought it was Elvis.
No, Elton John.
Elton John, though.
Oh my God. But okay, but the best part is when Leighton and Tatum are having this conversation. First of all, Leighton dressed up like Carol. Good job, girl. And then they're having this conversation where she's basically like breaking up with Tatum and is basically saying exactly what you said. Like, these are my people and I don't want to leave. Alicia like lurks in the background and is smiling like an idiot while she's trying to pretend like she's not eavesdropping, but she's obviously eavesdropping on this conversation.
That's exaggerating.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's like,
yeah, like Midori's being a dick in the background. It's really funny.
Midori's so great. Like
she's eavesdropping, but not eavesdropping. Yeah. It's really funny. But yeah, and then like and then Alicia ends up swooping in and being like, "Come on, there's going to be a terrible karaoke in a minute," and like gets Leighton to like have fun at the end of it. But yeah, good job.
Okay, so now we're gonna get to the cat party stuff. That episode is we start with Leighton's parents come to visit, obviously for the cat party. Her dad is wearing a proud gay dad shirt.
Cute.
And Leighton's like, you do realize that your shirt makes it sound like you're the gay dad, right?
And he's like, yeah, I am, exactly. Yeah, very, very cute.
And meanwhile, her mom tells her that she came out to herself instead of her dad telling her. But like in this moment, I can see why Leighton would not tell her mom because their entire conversations are just her mom judging her, which are pretty similar.
Yeah, and I mean that's the person that she was raised to be. And so the Kappa thing is really great because again, this is the pinnacle of just like why Leighton wanted to go to Kappa, because it's like to fulfill the destiny of like I'm preserving my mom's legacy basically. And it's just like a party with anytime there's an alumni parties, it just means we need money. And so basically it's just like Kappa, like all the rich people who are in Kappa giving more money to Kappa kind of deal. And so like by the end of it, it's really nice because Leighton and her mom finally like have an honest conversation about this stuff. And like Leighton realizes that like, I don't want to be here. So it's like the end of her arc, basically being like, I definitely don't want to do that. And like, this is the hardest one because she has to tell her mother. Because like, she's like, basically she's saying to her mom, I don't want to be you is what she's saying. And like, that's really hard. And like you mentioned, Leighton is obviously closer to her dad than her mother. So this is a very difficult conversation to have. But I like that her mom's like, yeah, these fake bitches. Like, she understands it too. Like, this society is so stupid. The one that they're in is very fake and very dumb. And so I like that she does accept Leighton and she doesn't, like, challenge her back. Because she very easily could have, like, reacted negatively to what Leighton's saying and, like, taken it as a personal attack that this is not what Leighton wants. But her mom's like, yeah, I know, these bitches are fucking ridiculous. Like, you're just trying to pretend you're not homophobic because you know one person. And, like, who's queer. And it's, like, one of those things. So, like, I'm glad they get where they get. And it's just like, that's the end of Leighton being like, I'm going to be different than my family. And her family being like, that's okay, Leighton.
So the whole thing, it was basically one of the women is like, and like, it's such a mess. The Syracuse chapter banned the word sisterhood because not all their members are women or something like that. And Leighton's like, actually, I think that's a good thing. It's more inclusive for trans and non-binary folks. And they're like, well, why can't they just start their own thing and let us have our sisterhood? And she's like, but they don't get the resources and funding that you do. So how are they able to start their own group? Like, you can't just tell them to do that, but not give them resources. Which, that's the bottom line of everything. And then also another contributing factor to her realizing like this is not the place for her is when one of the girls takes her aside, is like, this is not about engaging with them. This is about getting as much money as we can out of each person. So she's like, I'm not going to tolerate this shit being said. Like, if we don't engage and educate them now, who's going to do it? And that is fully the Women's Center impact on her. And it's beautiful. And she was worried about her mom, of letting her mom down, because like we've said many times, this is what is expected of her. And her mom says that life is too short to spend it on things that don't make you happy. And that's why they don't talk to grandma anymore. Yeah. But it's beautiful. Her whole storyline is beautiful.
It's great. And we're not even done. So the best part is the end, when basically they're at the last party of the year or whatever, and like Alicia shows up, and Leighton basically gives her the check her mother was going to donate to Kappa, and it's $30,000. And when she was basically like, which again, this is the full circle with her mother that's really beautiful. So not only did her mother support her at the Kappa fundraiser or whatever, Leighton explained like, hey, this is more meaningful. If you're going to donate money, please donate it here. I would like it to go here, because they have the resources to support the people that Leighton was trying to defend at this, fundraiser. So I like that her mother is like, yes, Leighton, here you go. Spend it there. That's a better place to spend the money. So I love that the mother did partner with Leighton on this. And the way Alicia reacts, because again, this is a group that needs funding and gets crumbs. And without thinking about it, Alicia just kisses Leighton. And is like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. And Leighton's like, no, you should. So it's definitely, she's 100 more times right now. And I love when she's like, should I go get my Elton John costume? She's like, no, you fucking dumbass. Anyway, but I love the check part, because that's a big, Leighton's entire family ended up accepting her by the end of the season.
I mean, we don't see Nico, but I don't care.
That's fine. All right. Let's see if we can get through this quickly, because we gotta go soon. All right, so that's all the gay stuff. The not gay stuff we liked. Okay, I liked that Bella creating an all women's magazine, comedy magazine, the Foxy. And one of my favorite moments, there's bad moments to this because Bella goes on a spiral, basically, of power tripping. But at the beginning, good idea. And I like when she's recruiting Leela. That's probably one of the funniest things ever. And they're just Leela in general. She's great. Late line delivery. Leela's amazing. But I love this hilarious moment at the frat party where Leela's just being her natural, hilarious self, checking out dudes and just commenting. And Bella's like, do you want to write this down for my magazine? Because it's fucking funny. So I love that. It's just, and just Leila be Leila. And it's just great.
Leila put her, there was this party where there was Dare is on cups that they had to do.
Yeah.
And she ended up writing her, kiss Leila on it and then put her phone number on it. I just think that's hilarious. And
it was very her.
Yeah, it is. She also has a good arc because she becomes the manager. She becomes more confident and finds herself through the comedy as well. I want to see more of her.
I agree. Yeah, that's what college is all about. So these are good plot lines that fit the setting, which is nice. The other thing about the Foxy that I love and hate is Bella and Eric, and kind of how she uses him and then he uses her, and it's kind of weird, but I get it. It was a whole roller coaster of a relationship because they are actually good together, sure,
and they're not trying to get ahead in their career.
But the problem is they're trying to enter careers that are very cutthroat, and they're being true to themselves at the same time. So it's just a very interesting dynamic.
And then quickly, I want to talk a little more about Bella's arc. So Bella's friend comes to visit. Her name's Priya, and Priya is doing the same thing that Bella did when she came to Essex, trying to reinvent herself, but Bella is putting Priya back in that box and not allowing her to grow.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a very good showing of what she's doing with the magazine as well. Like, she is the controller. She wants to control everything. And Bella is trying to impress Priya, but because Priya's trying to revenge herself, she's like, I cannot be associated with you because all you keep doing is telling these embarrassing stories.
Yeah.
And like, even with those stories, all the other girls think that Priya is really cool. So that's good for her. And they do end up making up, and Bella realizes, oh no, she's just trying to do exactly what I did. Why am I trying to hold her back?
Right.
And it was just because Bella wants to be seen as the top person.
Bella's insecure. Like, her arc this season is Bella is insecure.
Yeah.
That's her arc. And like, it's most apparent when she's with her friend.
Yeah. And I really hate Bella's personality by the end of this season. And I know it's just...
She's spiraling.
Yeah. Like,
she's fully in her insecurity.
Become a compulsive liar, first of all. Like, she blatantly lies about not knowing that she was going to be the one featured in the article. Only her.
I mean, she made the decision to go forward with her only. She made that article happen.
Literally asked, did that ask you? And she said no. If I would have known, I definitely would have changed it. And girl, it's just don't. Everything gets out of control. And like, the thing with Georgia is the worst thing ever. Because she basically crushes. Georgia's a new writer and asked her to review her stuff. And Bella tells her to quit, basically, and go into advertising. So instead of like building Georgia up and helping her, which is what this magazine was supposed to be doing, she's like, this is about me. I'm better. You may as well not even try.
The thing is that Bella never saw it that way. The other girls who founded the Foxy saw it as this solidarity thing. Bella saw it as a opportunity. She's an opportunist. She saw it as a way to get ahead, as a way to get noticed, as a way to like make her dreams come true. So Bella has always had tunnel vision for herself. It was never about solidarity for Bella. And that becomes extremely apparent in this season. And that's the lesson she's going to have to learn is like, you can't do things on your own. Like, I think that's her arc ultimately going into season 3.
It takes Georgia doing this
hit piece on Twitter, basically,
about like top 5 things I learned about a so-called feminist thing, and like calls Bella out.
Yeah.
And she thinks that the other members are on her side, being like, this is terrible thing for her to write. And they're like, no, you're the worst person here. Like, we were supposed to change the way that this place runs and just become a good, uplifting place for emerging female writers. And she is not creating the safe space.
No.
So she gets kicked out, and this girl basically burns all her bridges and is trying to transfer schools.
Yeah, because Bella hasn't learned teamwork. Bella was always single focused on herself, and like that's why she's kind of like learning this. Okay, really quickly, things that I hate. Why are we here moments? Whitney's plotline. Whitney does better because she figures out her passion, which is like biochemistry and science, and that's really great for Whitney. However, Whitney's never allowed to be single. Like, she's never single for more than 5 minutes. She has all the drama with Kanan, and then I hate that she gets with the bio bro guy. Okay, like, why can't she just, I hate him in general, and also, like, why can't she just be a science nerd and, like, because Whitney's whole thing is, like, she has no soccer, she's lost. Let her figure her shit out, but why does she always have to be tethered to a dude while she's doing this? And it's not like, and Whitney's not the type of person who, like, casually hooks up with people. She kind of does with this guy, but not really, but only because she tries to date him, and she's like, I can't really date him, we're not compatible. But, like, so she's always tethered to a dude, and I really hate that. I wish she could just, like, figure her shit out, basically. She never does.
And it's really not, because it's annoying. And actually does more with the math as well this season, so it would have been nice to see Whitney focus on the biochem, and like she does for like a little bit, but there's always a dude in the background.
Correct. That's what I hate. There's always a dude. It's just like, let her do
this. In the episode where she's like, I'm just gonna focus on myself.
Right. She ends up with a dude by the end of it. That's what's really annoying about like Whitney keeps getting screwed because they keep putting her with men that she's with for a while, and it's annoying. Let her breathe. Okay. Other thing that I hate, but I think it's, I hate it, actually. I hate it because it feels predatory, is Kimberly and the egg thing to like pay for school. She donates her eggs kind of thing. First of all, she finds the flyer at school for this, for like, hey, young women who are just entering adulthood, sell your eggs for money. Like this very like big permanent decision. And it felt very predatory that she found the flyer at school. Like they're advertising it to young, impressionable women who are just entering adulthood to make this potentially very permanent decision. Young. And it just felt very much like prostitution in a way that like Kimberly, like I understand she's like, I don't want to let my family down and yada, yada, yada. But like this seemed like a very predatory like way for her to like achieve that. Like just the way it was set up where it's like, I found it at school. You know what I mean? Like, it's just...
That's fair. And I see where you're coming from. I don't know. It's just a way for her to be able to... I do get the, like, you're selling your body, kind of.
Literally. That's why it feels like prostitution. And it's also like you have... Like, women have finite number of eggs. So it's like potentially there's ramifications down the line she can't conceive yet because all she can think of is the short-term solution is I want to go to school. That's why this feels very predatory, that it was like advertised at school, you know? So it's pretty shitty that Kimberly was in the position to begin with, but like she put herself here with like her poor decisions with Nico and like the fact that she can't ask her parents to co-sign a loan, which I don't fully understand why she's dying on that hill, but like it's a pride thing and I do understand, but like this felt like a very predatory solution. That also it's like short term, what is she gonna do next semester? Like that's why I didn't like this plotline. It's very, I mean, again, she's a young woman and it is short-sighted and young people tend to be more short-sighted with their thinking. It's more about instant gratification, not like long-term consequences. So I didn't love this. What I did like from this plotline though was like the solidarity with her suite mates, which is really sweet. Like Leighton ends up taking her there. And when she's very nervous about actually going through with it, like Leighton calls the suite mates and they have that like little like FaceTime. Like that was really sweet to like see the, you know, the power of their friendship kind of thing.
Yeah, it was really cute to see how Leighton was supportive of her. Like she gives Kimberly all of her shots, even during all the parties. And I love that she's like, you don't expect me to do this every night, right? And Kimberly says, oh, no, I 100% have it from here. And then every night there's a different costume and
It was funny.
she's giving it. And it's just, they really bond over it as well. So it's just like, Leighton let her in with... Can you stop?
Yep, keep going.
Leighton let her in with coming out. And then Kimberly was basically sharing this big thing in her life with Leighton. And it was very cute to see them. I also want to point out that Leighton tells Kimberly to not say the word tummy because she's 18.
Yeah, it's weird.
But Renee Rapp has a sign called Tummy Hurts.
Wow. Life doesn't imitate art.
Yeah. Nah, I don't need to say that one.
All right. Any final thoughts? That's all we basically had. Any final thoughts about season 2 of The Sex Lives of College Girls?
Just, we need to talk about it. We don't have to.
No, but, do it.
Whitney and Kimberly are now in a triangle.
I hate it.
Annoying.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my why are we here moments. I hate that they set up... Real quick. I really hate that they set up Kimberly and Kanan by the end. I really hate that. Because it felt forced to create drama with Whitney. Not that Kanan's not great. Not that Kanan and Kimberly don't make any sense. Because like they have, you know, I feel like they do on some level, but the fact that they were forcing it to create drama with Whitney, that's what I don't like.
Yeah,
it's very contrived.
I need those girls to stay friends. They need each other.
And again, why is Whitney's plotline always about men?
Yeah, that too.
Like, again, like I just don't like that. Felt very lazy and just a way to like drop an atomic bomb on the suite mates. The only one who's like, yay, at the end is Leighton. Everyone else is in turmoil.
Yeah, basically what I have is Whitney and Kimberly are now in a triangle. Annoying. Bella is transferring. Leighton makes me sad that she is leaving, but she's probably going to live happily ever after with Alicia. So yeah,
I feel like she's going to like move off campus with Alicia or like go on some mission trip with her or some shit. And that's like, we'll write them off.
Really cute.
I think they're going to get written off together. So let's season 3 predictions. I think that Leighton and Alicia will get written off together.
I want Janae to stay though.
She's not going to stay.
I know, but like I want it.
I know. But I think realistically, the two of them will get written off together. So they'll get their happy ending, which is really what I want. I don't care if I don't see it. I just want it written as they're together, which is fine. I don't think Bella's going anywhere because you can't have Renee leave and also Bella. It doesn't make any sense. I feel like that's going to get denied or she's going to come back or some shit.
Maybe the girls will rally around her and keep her there.
I wonder if Priya's going to come in and then she'll live with Bella, and like maybe the girls will live apart because like Whitney's going to Kappa. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen to Kimberly? Maybe she lives with Leela. Who knows? That would be great.
Oh my god, that would actually be really funny.
That would be great if those two got like a double. Because like, no, actually no, they're still going to be freshmen.
No, they're going to be sophomores.
Yeah, they'll be sophomores. Okay, so maybe they can get a double instead of like the quad suite. That would make sense. Bella ends up with Priya or some rando that drives her crazy. That would also make sense for Bella. While Whitney's at the Kappa house. And I feel like the Kappa people are going to drive her crazy. And then I don't know.
They're all going to end up back.
Correct. They will end up back together somehow. And
they're all going to get annoyed by their roommate.
Correct. And then Kaitlyn and Kimberly, I hope that ends.
I feel like that's going to end pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's going to be like the first few because they're going to try to fit a lot in next season.
Exactly. And then Ruby Cruz is coming in. Who knows what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be I feel like she's the replacement queer character.
There is another character that
there's a couple
regular, so it'll be interesting. There's a lot. I can't wait for season 3 though. I just really sad. I'm sadly not gone yet. She's waiting. She's very much produced though.
Yeah.
All right,
but take what we can get. All right, so it's season 2. Let's wrap this up with the Big Gay Energy Award. What got your Big Gay Energy?
Can you go first?
Leighton.
Why just Leighton in general?
That's what we did last
time. Leighton, we did Alicia last time.
Alicia had so much Big energy.
Yeah.
And I gave it to the Women's Center last time. Just Leighton. Leighton's entire arc had the most like it was so good. It hit a lot of tropes, but it was also very sweet and just true to her character and true to what they set up in season 1. And it wasn't
you know what? She gets it for not regressing, really.
Exactly. Like with everybody else, like she easily could have regressed into just fuck this. I'm going to be in the closet.
Like,
yeah,
she could have just not realized that Tatum was sending her backward.
Right, exactly. She just her character kept moving forward, which I really liked. Whereas everybody else kind of like repeated plot lines. So Leighton,
that's fair. I agree. So we're gonna go with that.
Cool.
If you made it this far in the episode, we want to know. I'm going to challenge you to use this word without looking up the spelling or the definition. I mean, some of the words that I like, the definition, but without spelling. Use it in a comment on the video or in a review, because I feel like for people looking at reviews, it'd be like really weird.
And super random. We love it.
It's the best. So today's word is paraphernalia. So good luck using that in a comment or a review.
I won't give you a hint this time. Give us more Big Gay Energy paraphernalia. There you go. So have fun with that. So thank you for listening to our review of season 2 of Sex Lives of Collegers. We'll be back to cover season 3 once it airs. See if our predictions are right, wrong, who knows? But until next time, hydrate for lesbian Jesus
and date up all over the place.
Bye. And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube.
Please leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing super gay content.